Is HRO a smart option or just an option? And I would request our speakers, Mr. Vishwas Tripathi, Vice President, Service Delivery Beyond People, and Mr. Biswajyoti Panda, Assistant Vice President, HRO Operations Beyond People, to please come on the dais.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for having me on the stage today. And since morning, we have been, we've went through multiple sessions, and we've heard a lot of informative information from the CHROs, vice presidents, technology enablers. And interestingly, everything at the end of the day boils down to people. And what we are looking forward in Beyond People is a kind of a solution where we've not only understood the culture that is required in an organization, but what is the core need of the organization towards building up its productivity, its reputation in the market, and most importantly, the return on investment for a business. So let's go back a little and understand the evolution of HRD to HR consultant to HRO. So as one of our colleagues mentioned in the beginning, that initially the HR department was just a department to enable certain, the compensations part, certain facility, and everything ended up on that. And it was definitely a hidden department. Gradually, the demand increases. 1991, we saw the industrial reforms changing. We saw international companies coming in. We had a demand of manpower in the market. And then came the evolution of HR consultants. These consultants became the driving force towards providing the manpower to the organization in bulk. In a week, we require 100 people. Fair enough, 2-3 companies come in, they meet the requirement, and things happen. Furthermore, the further evolution happened. Now we're talking about HR outsourcing. The volume increased, the business increased. And now, more than manpower, there were certain services that were required. The development of the organizations became of such kind wherein, all right, we have this business, we want it outsourced, you take care of the manpower, we will take care of the service management. That is how the evolution started to happen. But then, what was also important is the fact that for how long do we keep HR as an outsourcing option and move to HR management? So Beyond People, we kept this concept in mind that it's not about outsourcing of people or supporting the business requirement, but also managing the entire infrastructure of, or I would say the ecosystem, not the infrastructure, but the ecosystem of, what does a person want once he starts a career with a company? Each one of us sitting in this forum right now, when we started our career, there was one thing in mind. Where would I go? What would be my growth? And you need that counseling to come in. You need that person to understand that if I'm joining an organization, where is my future going to take me? How would I be enabled in my skill set? And this is what exactly we started working on. And, we decided we are not going to be, we will be outsourcing, but we would be a management partner to our business partners. We would ensure their manpower understands what is the job role. How do they look forward to the future? What is the career growth path? In our industry or in any industry, a lot of the, esteemed guests out here mentioned attrition is a pain area. Do we really understand why attrition happens? We might have multiple reasons. Better opportunity, not a good boss, I didn't like the company services. The point is, the human factor is not realizing the growth potential of himself or herself in the organization. They do not understand where are we heading to. If I've spent 1 year in an organization and I'm leaving the organization just like that, which means I have not been given the right career path and I'm not getting to the right level of my career growth. So how did we go back and, we started processing the entire agenda for creating people beyond is improvement in employee turnover. When we say turnover, employee is also an investment. And it is the largest investment that any organization does. Okay? So what we do exactly, we identify the business need of our partners. What exactly do you need? And how do we curate that to create an improvement in employee turnover? How does that turn out to be an employee satisfaction? The employee should understand, if I'm getting into an organization, what is my role? How can I move ahead? What is the skill set I require? That is what creates employee satisfaction. Improvement in employee performance. If you have the right skill set for your right task, obviously the performance would evolve. The person working in that organization would be able to deliver better because he understands his role. And he's been skilled for that. Training and development. Training and development can not only be process-based, it has to be skill-based. It has to be a personality development. It has to be a role enhancement of the employee working in that organization. Budget control. We all know what that means in our industry. A moment, certain point of time or quarters, there's a budget control, there is cost impact that comes in. So obviously, managing your hiring cost, it's the most critical aspect for HR. And that is the pain area for most of the HR departments. Because the outflow of people and then influx of people is impacting that cost. Short staffing. This is a blend wherein, there would be multiple points that would come in saying that, we are making this change, we need more people, but we don't have the right skill set in the market. It's taking time for us to get deployed with the right set of people. One of our esteemed speakers just mentioned that while we're working in a larger demographic ecosystem, getting the right skill set in the rural areas or probably tier 4 cities becomes a challenge for us. Okay? Well, all those points are being taken care by us because we are kind of creating an ecosystem where we would manage all those demands. We would ensure the delivery is structured accordingly. And then technology, as someone rightly said, people are scared of technology. People believe that we will be replaced by technology. But a food for thought is a human created AI. You need a human to operate that AI. And even AI requires data to give you an output. And that data is also coming from a human. We just heard a session where we heard that, a system is there which gives you a credit score. How does that system give you a credit score? It gives you through your punch in, punch out, your, integrity of to office, your working hours, all those things. That data is also coming from a human. So one thing that we all have to be confident about is AI cannot replace human. Technology cannot replace human. It can enable us to be more efficient. And that is the blend we are creating at Beyond People towards making that ecosystem more effective. We've also designed, what is the scarcity of manpower when it comes to delivery when you require a large scale of deployment. So we've created that structure wherein we have teams across, currently as I speak, we have our teams in 13 cities in India. And progressively we are looking at international deployments as well. So, and we have diversified our sectors of delivery into multiple spaces. We have looked into the aspects where what kind of skill set would be required. We have picked up trained professionals to meet your demands and how to skill those people for your delivery. And more importantly, we looked at manpower and technology as our enablers. Henceforth, we would create a man-tech delivery for you, wherein you would probably say, I need 100 people. But do you actually need 100 people? Or you might work around with 60 people and rest we can deliver through technology. So that's a cost-benefit analysis we do for you. What are we solving? As I mentioned, we are looking at the economy, we are looking at the cost-benefit analysis, the customer experience, compliance management, and enabling the organization. Now, when I talk about economy, we are looking at manpower optimization leading to efficient and effective performance delivery. You might have a requirement specific to, let's say, logistics industry. You can just not pick anyone who doesn't understand. A fresher could be there. A fresher is ready to join and prove his mettle in the market. But then, who's going to train him on the subject? So we do that. We have the industry experts to make them understand what is your job role. We make them ready for your expectations or your service delivery that you'll, as an outcome of their performance. Providing insight into market trend and competitive analysis. We would come back to you telling you, as I just mentioned, we do a man-tech kind of a combination. We would come back to you, tell you, this is what the market trend is. You don't require 100 people. You might just do the job with 60 people. This is the right kind of technology we can provide you, and this is how you can generate a better ROI in your business capabilities. Scalability of human presence as per demography. So that is again what we have been able to deliver in all this time. We do a competition analysis on the cost behavior analysis. We see the competition. Seasonal manpower requirement. We all know that there have been multiple mega sales happening in e-commerce industry. And during that phase of time, there is this particular stipulated period when you require bulk manpower, a seasonal manpower. Then you suddenly don't want it. As an organization, you can't bear that cost because that becomes a responsibility. We do the research for you that what kind of manpower would be available for you. When is the season that you have and what kind of manpower we can deliver. And you don't take the brunt because we can also provide you with the contractual deployment of manpower. Okay, keeping all the compliances in place. Second most important thing is customer behavior and response trend. Recently, we have seen, a lot of social media buzz around multiple companies and products on how the customer service is not being delivered, what kind of standards they are not being able to meet. And obviously, as a human being, as Indians especially, we have a very high demand of expectations from our services that we take. So therefore, we also see what we are dealing with the customers, what kind of skill set would be the best suited for it. Because everybody likes a humble, soft-spoken customer service. Even when a delivery guy comes to you and say, "Thank you, ma'am, this is the product. Thank you for waiting for me," you might feel, very happy about it. Rather than a person coming to you and say, "I won't come up to your doorstep. You come down and take your stuff." Okay, so these are small little things which we understand while we look forward to, create that kind of a blend. Customer experience. The most important part is when we talk about customer experience, it is not about the business partner experience, but the end customer experience that we are keeping in mind. So do we have the minimum skill set requirement? Are we meeting that? What is your expectation? We do a study around it. Second, train, hire, and deploy. The THD model is something which we are really proud of. Because as I said, there will be a lot of freshers in the market, a lot of people looking out for jobs, especially in the tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 cities, who probably want to join the organization because of the brand name, but are not having the right side of skill set to understand what is the job role like. That is where we have our expert set of trainees to go back to them, train them, get them prepared for the role that you are looking for, get them hired as per your process of hiring, and get them deployed for the task. So this is the structure that we have been able to successfully deploy effectively with our current business partners. And obviously, as I said, technology is more of an enabler than a replacement. So we look forward, to how to blend the technology, making them understand that technology does not kill you, but enables you. So there are businesses which is already running on a blend of human and technology mix. So we train them on that technology as well to make them more efficient. During the larger course of time, we are ensuring compliance is done for the organization. So obviously today there are a lot of compliance and background verifications check. We complete that before we hand over the employee to you. We get it verified by your set of people who would do the assessment, do a recheck and confirmation so that your audits are kept absolutely compliant. And then obviously the CIBIL check, BGV, all those formalities are completed and handed over to you. So we reduce your hassle. So, we know that human resource is a much larger concept today than what it was. And we want you to focus on your core deliverables rather than to worry about hiring. Because hiring is one topic that is the topmost priority in any organization. We also, enabling the organization, as we said, right set of talent is being provided. Technology-based payroll solutions are being provided by us. So that, and reducing that on manpower alignment as per business requirement. So we, if need be on a long-term basis, if there are businesses who are looking forward for a constant quarter-on-quarter increment in manpower, we can take their forecasting, start preparing on the manpower, ensure as and when needed, the manpower is ready for them for the deployment. So just a quick glimpse. So we are looking, what services that we offer is more on the effectiveness and the efficiency, cost-benefit analysis, risk mitigation, competitive advantage, and enabling the organizations. How we deliver our offerings. So just to give you a glimpse how we structure this entire delivery structure, we do a business need identification for your people and processes, what exactly you need, what is your expectation, what are the main criteria for that. Curating the business solution. So as I said, it would be a technology-based solution, it could be a manpower-based solution, it could be a man-tech blended solution. So what exactly could be the best option? We put it across to you. Obviously, you would be the decision maker. You would make a choice around it and you will let us know. Industry-specific preparation. So, basis the industry, we ensure soft skill is a very important aspect in any communication segment, be it logistics, finance, anything. More importantly, customer interactive skill, effective sales pitch, understanding the industry type and customer type. So all these are specific areas, not limited to this, but there's certain points that we cover with the candidate so that they understand their job role. From a competitive advantage, we do a detailed insight on market competition, CSAT, NPS, and customer inclination, so that we are also able to suggest you and provide you with the right set of people and solution around it. Robust delivery structure, suggesting solution for seasonal businesses. This is again what we have covered, that we can obviously look at a progressive trend of manpower requirement with you, along with the solutions that can be helpful for you. Versatility of delivery, so BFSI, FMCG, travel, aviation, utility and delivery, e-commerce, business process management, logistics and supply chain. These are a few of the industries that we are already associated with. We are already working with them, and we are ensuring that we keep the smiles on their face at all times. So I have my colleague with me, Biswajyoti Panda, who would take you through some case studies that we have been initiating.
Well, thank you, Vishwas, and a very good afternoon to all of you. What we have discussed now, I will actually be running through a few case studies where you would exactly know that how we have been executing what we have just shown you. The first case study is of a BFSI client, where the problem statement here was finding the right people and getting them to adopt to the organizational culture. And second was effective employee engagement. What we did here is we analyzed first the requirement of the client and accordingly assessed and screened the candidates as to find out why they were not getting the right candidates before. So the assessment questionnaire catered to the organizational cultural traits, and we also assessed the adaptability of the candidates by stating real-time situations to them to find out whether they'll be able to adapt to the organization culture or not. Further, all candidates were also upskilled to have a basic knowledge of the BFSI industry, how it operates, and especially the banking industry, and how they will be enabled to carry out their roles and responsibilities effectively in that organization. Coming to the second aspect, so this ensured one thing, that the people who were required to have the proper skill sets were there, because we trained them. We gave them an initial training and understanding of the industry and what exactly will be their roles and responsibilities and how they're going to perform it. Second aspect of effective employee management. Our team ensured that the well-being of the employees is given utmost importance. We had people from our team who used to interact with the employees. We made them feel cared for. And also, in that entire sense, what happened was they developed a sense of belongingness to the organization. They felt that the organization is caring for me. What was the result of this? Being properly skilled, the employees were able to perform effectively. So it resulted in optimizing the productivity of the organization, the productivity of the client. The second case was of a real estate client where it had a different problem statement. They had a payroll management system in place which met the basic payroll and compliance requirements. But at the same time, the performance management tool which they were using required a lot of human intervention and had possibilities of bias, because it involved the person to be taking his decisions, which could lead to bias. So what we did here is we provided an integrated AI-based HRMS system, which took care of payroll management, along with it also catered to performance and talent management. Further, also the system took care of talent mapping and upskilled and reskilled the employees to take lateral movements within the organization, to move to the next level and also to move from one department to another. So we identified people who had a skill. For example, somebody working in the marketing department had an average performance there, but we identified that his skill sets were better to perform in the accounts and finance department. So we reskilled them accordingly and ensured that that lateral movement happened, and the employee was retained. What was the result? We had three things which we got here. First was the payroll and performance management was seamless, and it reduced drastically the activity cycle time. Next, talent mapping and skilling led to employee motivation and retention, as they could clearly visualize the career path within the organization. I'll just take 5 minutes more. Third was elevating employees to the next level also led to reducing cost per hire, because this is a clear-cut concept in the market that we know that if I'm promoting someone from one level to another from within the organization, after upskilling him or her, what I am giving in terms of an increment would be an X percentage. But if I am hiring someone from outside, the pay scale would I have to pay would be probably much higher, because I would need to give that person a hike on the present salary, on the present CTC. So this also led to a reduction in the cost per hire. Now the next case was of an IT services client where we had a typical problem statement. Employees who were hired were not being retained and the attrition rate was very high. What we did here is we did a deep analysis to find out the reasons for attrition. We conducted a survey and we found out the following reasons. The company had mostly freshers who came with big expectations and had a very rosy picture of the IT industry. Second, the line managers were hardcore technical people who assessed their team members purely on technical skill sets. The human angle was missing. So what we did here is, for the candidates who came in, we gave them a proper understanding of the IT industry, how it works, what exactly they are supposed to deliver, and we set the proper expectations that this is how the industry works, this is how you'll need to do, and do not come with a rosy picture. It's not all hunky-dory. It's a different picture always. You'll need to have different challenges. Secondly, the line managers were lacking the human touch. So we upskilled them with people management skills and brought in a humane touch in the entire system. The result was attrition was controlled, employees had the right expectation, and employees were retained and they worked properly. And also, the line managers now knew they had a better control and a better connect with the team because the humane angle came in here. And they had now got upskilled on the people management skills. So what the basic reason for giving you these three different case studies was that what Biswas had mentioned earlier, we give you a complete package. Beyond People is not an organization which only gives you manpower. It understands your requirement, gives you the trained people, and also helps in upskilling or reskilling the internal stakeholders who are there in the organization. So it is a complete package which comes to you, and Beyond People tends to be an organization which can be your perfect business partner, because we also look at ways and means of increasing your profitability, increasing your business, increasing your bottom line and top line. That is what matters. That is where we come from. Thank you so much for giving me a patient hearing.